So the expression, if a student doesn't learn the way we teach, then we teach the way they learn, it highlights the necessity for teachers to adapt. And what comes to mind is that as a teacher, we have an obligation to meet the needs of our learners. A model that comes to mind is the ADAPT model. ADAPT is an acronym that is a paradigm for differentiation. And what it stands for is A, is account for students' needs. So it starts with understanding who your students are, to understand what their characteristics are, what are their needs. D, it stands for the demands in the classroom. What are we asking our students? And this is where the barriers can come into place. Are we asking students to do a lot of seat work when they need movement? Are we asking them to work in large groups when they have difficulty, working with people or engaging in social work, asking people to work with them? Are we asking them to read complicated texts when they have comprehension or reading difficulties? So the D, understanding the demands in the classroom, is where we could plan purposefully and avoid creating barriers for our students' learning. The A stands for adaptations. So, that is where we learn to adapt and use strategies to meet our students' needs, whether they need a graphic organizer or a checklist to help them, learn a certain skill, whether we need to, use technology to help them understand concepts. So, and then the P is the, students' perspectives. Are we placing too much emphasis on this one student? Sometimes with our best efforts, we may end up harming the student more through all of our interventions when all the student wants is to be like everybody else in the class. And so, we have to consider how is the student responding to our interventions and our attention. And then the T in ADAPT is teach and reassess and readapt. It's a dynamic process, and teaching how students need to learn is a dynamic, and it's a process that needs to be continually adjusted and reassessed.